Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. Brandis is about to break out laughing at my little intro voice. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Moody.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
Why don't we pre-record that?
I don't know.
We should, because we do it fresh every time.
Every single time.
But you know what? The energy is different every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome, ladies.
Yay.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. We've been missing y'all.
Yes.
I feel like we've been gone for some weeks now, but
yeah, it's been a minute.
We only went like, well, you know what? We normally record. So we normally record every Monday, and we've gone a few Mondays without recording.
We have. We've gone almost 4 Mondays without recording.
Man.
Yeah. So it feels like it's been a while.
We got some work to do.
We do.
But we've been working, though.
We have. Oh, my goodness.
We've been working. Your girlfriend's been killing it.
I wish y'all could see how goofy we look right now.
So goofy. It's so goofy.
Couch.
So goofy. But y'all don't understand. Let's backtrack. Okay. Memphis was amazing.
Memphis was incredible. The Great Girlfriends in Memphis showed up and showed out.
Yes.
We were like at capacity. There was no more seats. It was standing room only.
Yes. We had to cut the tickets off early.
We had to cut the tickets off early. It was so incredible. And that was our first time doing a live podcast.
Yeah, so we're referencing Cupcakes and Combo, the event that we put together in Memphis with September Nail Salon. Please check out Jennifer at September Nail Salon. Don't forget Connie at Delicious Delights.
Yes.
And Origins and Mazzani, who were all amazing sponsors for that event. But it was really fun, so we decided we're going to take Cupcakes and Combo on the road this year.
Yeah, guys.
And we have minimal requirements, but if you do want to know how to get the Great Girlfriends Combo to your city, you can email us, thegreatgirlfriends@gmail.com. Meanwhile, I came back to New York to like breathe some air again, and Brandis and
stayed in
Sky
Memphis.
Baby rolled out.
We stayed
went straight to Miami.
We stayed in Memphis because I was getting so much rest, and Rich didn't want the baby to go from 3 different like temperatures.
Yeah.
So we went straight from Memphis to Miami. My mom went with us.
That was so awesome.
To watch Sky, which was so incredible.
Girl, that was a gift. That right there is a gift.
So shout out to my mom.
Yes, thank you, Mama.
And so it was so cool. So she did great on the plane ride from New York to Memphis.
Uh-huh.
She did pretty good on the plane ride from Memphis to Miami, and we actually had a connection in Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
But coming back from Miami to New York, she's like, no more.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here. Get me home. Get me in my own environment. I don't know what the heck is going on. Like, I'm done.
Oh, and isn't it funny because you be trying to pat your baby like I got this, and all the mamas jump in.
Everybody. I told Sybil there was a really nice older Cuban lady sitting next to me, and this could be an episode because she asked me if she could help me with Sky. And honestly, as a mom, my natural reaction was to be like, no.
You can't help me with my own
You cannot
baby.
help me with my own baby. But I was losing that battle. So I gave her some cover, and I gave her Sky.
That's hilarious.
And honey, she figured out how to calm Sky down. Sky was asleep on that lady's big old boobs.
Wow.
And I done had the boobs that lady got.
Then that's what it was. She wanted a bigger pillow. Oh my gosh.
So the lady was so sweet. I kind of regret I didn't get her information now, but she was so sweet.
That's awesome. I'm just so proud of Sky because she handled Miami like a champ.
She did.
She really did. Even when we went out on the strip, we went to go have lunch, y'all, and it was, when I say noisy, I was irritated.
It was
I had
noisy, all kind of smells in the air, all kind of sounds.
And she wasn't tripping at all.
No, she did really, really well.
And now we have to tell you about the Wealth Experience.
Oh my goodness.
Which all I can say is it is completely named with the right words in mind.
Absolutely.
It's a Wealth Experience.
Absolutely. So you guys know that MC Light hosted, it's not a conference, it's an experience. Who Lynn Richardson actually founded, right?
Mm-hmm. Hip Hop Sisters.
Yep. And Prudential brought Sybil and I down.
Yeah.
And to host 2 panels, but we ended up hosting 3 panels.
Yes, which was so awesome.
Oh, so good.
It was so good. Let me tell you something. I personally think that this is the best way to kick off your new year. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was so fantastic. I told everyone, I told my sisters, I'm like, you guys have to be there next year with me.
Yeah.
And all the great girlfriends in New York, I'm like, you gotta be there with me.
Yes.
Because I just feel like, how fun would it be to have like your sisters and like all your
Yes.
girlfriends there? It was so fun.
I mean, we were surrounded by just women who are excellent in every way. MC Light and Lynn Richardson, so excellent, so humble, so gracious and
So
loving.
amazing.
And just
Yes.
amazing. And their families. And I don't think I told you this, but so the conference was amazing. Wealthexperience.info. www.wealthexperience.info. I suggest registering now.
I do too. And after you give this story, we're gonna talk about our top 3 takeaways.
Okay. So on the way to the airport, I got a ride from Lynn's husband to the airport. And, we were in a car and he was driving and I was texting in the back and I just asked him, I said, so how long have you guys been married? And, he told me, I think it's 25 years. I don't misquote the number of years. It could be a little less than that.
Wow. They look so young.
They are so young and like fresh.
Yeah.
So I said, so what's amazing about your marriage? Like, tell me, how do you keep it amazing? And he just went in on his love for his wife. When I say love for his wife and the level of servanthood and the love that we talk about, like the extravagant love and not having egos and pretense and how to nurture her and she nurtures him and how they take care of their kids and all of this. But when I say it was meaty, this man loves his woman.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just so overwhelmed with delight because it felt so good to hear somebody so deep into their marriage feel how we feel.
Years.
Yeah.
25 years.
And I'm like, you're inspiring me because I'm 10 years in feeling great. And my husband and I, we feel really great. So that gave me so much to look forward to hear the way that he loves his wife and how they serve each other.
I love that.
And having a heart of servanthood. It was so important. And I had to just hit her up and tell her, your husband just gifted me. The conference was amazing. But your
husband just gave me a second conference.
I had a whole second wealth experience in the ride from the airport.
From
the hotel to the airport.
It
was the best gift.
I love that.
It was the best gift. You just never know how much a person has in their heart until you connect with them. And he's such a calm and quiet, unassuming man in the way he carries himself. But when I said something about his family, what? It was such a well of love and wealth. Yes.
Oh, I love that.
I can attest to say.
So that was one of the things you got from the wealth.
Oh my gosh. First of all, to see her.
Yes.
In her spirit of excellence.
Yes.
But, and to see it in her friendships, her relationships.
Yes.
And then
because her friends showed up.
Her friends showed up ready.
Her friends showed up at this conference.
On, man. It was a straight up great girlfriend, hip hop sister.
It could have been a great girlfriend / wealth conference. I'm just saying.
Because all of her great girlfriends and MC Light's great girlfriends, and they are great girlfriends. So they showed up for each other. And then Kelly Price and Faith Evans and Nikki Gilbert and who am I leaving
Erica
out?
Campbell.
Lettucey. Salt. Who else? Am I missing anybody?
I don't know who we're missing, but they all showed up.
And they didn't show up as celebrities. They showed up as women.
They showed up as women and as great girlfriends to support her vision.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Girls just there to love, to support everyone.
And to pour back
other.
into it. And the thing that really got me on this is they were actually in the darn sessions.
I was like, you're in the sessions? What are you doing? But they were absorbing information. Like when Faith came to our getaway upstairs on the terrace, I was like, really, Faith Evans really gonna sit here and take information from us? But I just thought that was so loving of her.
Yes.
And she didn't want to leave, but she had to go. But that was just so everyone was so gracious in that way.
That's how they were the entire weekend.
So it wasn't just, that's how I feel, real character. Mm-hmm. Everybody you got hit with had it. Everyone had an excellent spirit.
Everybody.
And that for me was like, okay, next year for real.
Everybody had it.
Yeah. We're declaring now the Great Girlfriend's going to be back.
We're going to be back.
We're going to be delivering.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Go ahead. I can't forget. So I can't forget the tighter connections I was able to make with Kamika.
Oh, yes.
And Kamika Smith from the Boss Network, who will be on our show very soon. got to connect with her in a more intense way.
I love it.
And I was like, yes, Kamika, I knew I loved
it.
you.
I love
now
it.
I know exactly the reasons why I specifically love you.
I love it.
Tanisha Warner.
Yeah, she's so incredible.
You know,
From
she just
Igami.
wooed me. From Igami. Oh my
She's
gosh.
incredible.
She
Incredible
wooed
spirit.
me.
Yes.
I am so excited for everything that she's doing through the Dream Project.
Yes.
I'm so excited for her. Ty Beauchamp.
Yes.
Had a great time having lunch with Ty and Tanisha, and Ty is just sweet.
She's so sweet.
Oh my gosh, apple pie.
And she's gonna kill him.
Oh my gosh, she's
She's already killing him.
She's vicious, and she is just so sweet and just
She
fabulous.
is.
And D Marshall.
Yes.
D,
Hey, D.
D, hey, D came to the panel with so much energy, zest,
She was so
connection.
incredible.
Oh my goodness.
We had the bomb panel. We had two
did.
panels. We did one with Sharia.
Yes.
Who is incredible.
Sharia Jackson. Oh my gosh.
Sharia
how
is
amazing.
she's the lifestyle and relationships editor at Essence
Yes, she
magazine.
is.
And then we did another panel.
And she's the director of
Boss Brides.
BossBrides.com.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we did another panel with where we talked about shrinking. We did a
Yes.
whole panel on shrinking. And that was Sybil and I and Tanisha and Kamika.
Yep.
And that was so incredible. Tanisha from Igami Consulting and Kamika from
Boss Network.
Yeah. And then we did a third panel.
Which was about women and money. Which,
And what are we afraid of? Which
we'll
we
bring that
will
conversation
definitely
forward.
bring that forward to the podcast. That was incredible. And we did that one with
Ty
Beauchamp
and D Marshall.
and D Marshall. So
Yes.
we had the best time. I was at a friend's house yesterday. We have Rich is the godfather of his friend's triplets. And so Sky met her god brothers and sisters yesterday.
That was the first
And
time?
that was the first time they met.
Oh, that's sweet.
And so while we were there, I can't remember if Nia or her husband asked me, what was like your top 3 takeaways from the conference?
That sounds like a Nia question.
I think it was a Nia question. And I had to think about that. And I figured it out, what it was.
What was it?
One was there is nothing better than being vulnerable. Like
Yeah.
there is
so
there is no better way to make an impact than by being vulnerable, because every single person at that conference was vulnerable, and it left like such a. That's why we here taking up
All this
time talking about the conference, because we
Yeah.
were left impacted. And then I said the second thing was about money, and the fact that I need to start talking to my friends. We did a Prudential panel on money and friendships, and how I need to really start to bring money into my friendships, money into the conversation with my friends, and figure out like how do we help push each other forward in that area. And then the third thing I got was in Tanisha did a workshop on the dream giver. And one of the things she said in there, one of the illustrations she had, was how we have to give our dreams back to God.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had taken on so much on my shoulders. Like, I don't know at what point I had taken it back from God, but at some point I had taken it back.
Wow.
And so I had to release my 2016 year, release HFR to him, like release the things that were holding me. I guess the things I was having anxiety around, I had to release them to him, all those things. And that was like a huge takeaway for me,
No, that's good.
because I have so much peace now. Yeah.
Wow.
What were your top 3 takeaways?
Oh, girl. Okay, so my top 3, my first one, I would have to say, I think I know more now than ever the amount of power that we have in the collective, because we knew from Great Girlfriends we started with an idea, and then we had a podcast.
Right.
And now we're moving into other levels, dimensions of this whole brand in itself.
Right.
Hearing them say they started at a lunch with the idea to do
Right.
the wealth experience.
Right.
And they said yes. And another girlfriend said yes. And then
Right.
there you go. And here you have this experience that's taking place with all these women coming forward. And I think it just further solidifies that people will participate in your dream.
They absolutely will.
That's first of all. So that for me was huge. The second thing is that you never, ever, ever know what a person has gone through.
Oh my God.
And like you never really understand the power of who they are now and where they've come from hearing, Kelly Price share some very candid things in her conversation.
Wow.
The one-on-one she had with us, and then her larger panel discussion candidly with Kelly.
Was that one?
That was a 5:30 on I think it was a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I came briefly to that one, but not Saturday. I'm sorry, it was like Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
But she is just so very honest about the trials and the triumphs and things that she's gone through.
Wow.
But you never know what it costs people.
Right.
To be who they are and where they are. And you can
Right.
never, ever, ever for 1 minute judge.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You have no idea. And then third, I think Michelle Thornton really impressed me. Michelle Thornton is the VP of programming.
SVP of ad sales for Centric.
Okay, I would make sure I get her title right.
SVP of ad sales for Centric.
And when I say just a firehouse, powerhouse,
really
just
is.
an amazing woman. But I love how she was so authentic and strategic, her book, in talking about the need for strategy. Strategy is important to me. I'm always like, what's the game plan? But her ability to translate it in the way that she did in her book and also in her session, I thought was really helpful because a lot of people walk away saying, I'm just going to take this dream and make it happen. What about the strategy?
Right.
And I love how she really honed in on that because that's going to be the key to helping make businesses sustain themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh,
get there next year.
Absolutely. And we do have a podcast topic.
But get there next year. Today, we are talking
about territorial friendships today.
Ooh, Mary. You remember Sandra?
Did you just do that?
Ooh. Territorial friendships.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
But why do you think we need to? So basically, we want to get into breaking territorial.
I think it's so important because I think every single woman who listens to our podcast has either has been territorial or has experienced like a territorial girlfriend.
Very true.
So it's one of those things that we need to talk about because in the last podcast episode, when we talked about like no more permission slips, we started suggesting that our great girlfriends go to meetups and meet with new people and find new tribes and find people who are interested in what they're interested in. But when they're doing that and they're meeting new people, they also need to be able to address territorial girlfriends. And also, even if your friends are listening to this podcast and they're starting to kind of branch out and meet new people and do some of the things that we suggested in that No More Permission Slips episode, you need to kind of put yourself in check if you find yourself exhibiting some of the behaviors of a territorial girlfriend.
Ooh, sticky. Sticky. And don't log off now. Don't
log off.
Don't say you're gonna listen to this later.
Just say ouch.
Listen to this right now.
Just say ouch if it hurts.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Just say ouch. And you might not even need to tell people what you're listening to right now because you might have to deal with some issues. But that for me, I agree with exactly what you're saying. If we're gonna have new people in our circles, how can they be embraced and welcomed into our lives if the people in our lives are territorial?
That's so true.
Yeah. And I think as our friends are expanding and meeting new people, we have to check ourselves for sure because I don't want to be the fragment to a group.
Right.
I don't want to see you soaring with all your interests and pursuing all your passions, and I don't fit in just because I don't know how to act right.
Right.
When I come around,
right. It's true.
Or if I'm rejecting all these new people that are adding value to your life.
I was just thinking about Kamika. When Kamika was on our panel where we talked about shrinking, and she was talking about her friends and some of the things that happened with them, and I just remembered that's totally territorial.
Yeah.
Like she started a company, and she said when it was a small company, her friends were great. They're like, all right, cool, Boss Network, we're gonna support you in this. But as it started to grow and people really started to become kind of fans of the Boss Network, they would come to events and kind of stand back in the corner and snicker and, not really want to be a part of it. Probably mostly because they probably felt like they were losing their friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And they couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep up. I mean, bottom line around this is simple. We got to be more mature. We as women, we have to grow up around our relationships and our expectations around relationships and all of the limits and the barriers and the constraints that we put on relationships. We have to grow up, and we cannot go around emulating the cattiness that we see on TV.
Oh,
We can't do that.
that's a word.
We cannot do that.
That is a word.
We can't go and act like, the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Right.
And then expect to live in Brooklyn and have the same, have healthy relationships.
That's so true.
We can't do that. Or act like Love and Hip Hop and then want to have healthy relationships when these are people are playing our roles.
Yeah. And they're getting paid.
They're getting paid
to
for
act
that.
a fool, but they still getting paid.
They're still getting paid. So I feel like we sometimes see that and we take that as permission to act a certain way or
Right.
do certain things or express ourselves in ways that are just immature.
Absolutely.
And sometimes if I'm emotionally immature around something, I don't need to put that on you.
Right.
So if I know that I have issues with sharing, it's particularly when it comes to people, I need to check myself instead of trying to impose that on my friendships.
Why do you think, why in women, I know you, as soon as we're talking about this, I know you guys are saying, because
And then start got people's names popping in your head.
people's names are popping in your head. But why do you think, Sybil, like, I know you've probably experienced, or I should ask, have you experienced a territorial friend?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
I have. I've been one before. And I have definitely.
So maybe you
experienced
should talk about those situations
You-
before we
you
dig
think
in.
I should just-
Yeah, I think you should. Let's talk about
I
it.
think that today's I should be the.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, which one you want to start with?
So let's talk about when you were a territorial friend.
Oh my goodness. So everybody, if you guys have listened, which I hope you have been listening from episode 1 to 26 now, my sisters have been my nucleus forever. So my sisters are very possessive over me, and I was very possessive over my sisters to a point of protection almost. So when my sisters would make new friends, I would be so defensive and protective over my sisters that I was just bullying.
Right.
I would find reasons to dislike. In fact, one particular person, she knows who this is. Her name is Shonda, and I can call her out because we both grown-ups now.
Right.
But this was in high school. My sister Leslie had a friend named Shonda in college. Well, I was in junior high because I couldn't drive at the time. And I didn't like the fact that Leslie was calling Shonda her sister. I was like, she is not your sister. You do not know her. You don't know nothing about her. She don't look like us. She don't act like us. She's not a Clark. What is going on with this?
my God.
And I used to try. And so instead of accepting the fact that Leslie had a new friend and maybe Shonda was a good person,
Right.
I was bossing them around. I'd be like, well, take me so-and-so. Do this for me. I had them running like errand girls.
And Leslie probably felt guilt around her relationship.
She probably
So
did.
she was probably trying to prove to you that Shonda was good people.
Exactly. And it took about 3 years before. It took me going to college to realize how amazing Shonda was. And I was like, wow, actually Shonda is pretty amazing.
Wow.
I didn't understand that you could share your heart with other people.
Wow.
I didn't know that because my family is very tight. So I didn't know that people could come in and you could embrace them and love them and
But it doesn't take anything away from you.
it didn't take anything away from me. So I went through that. And same thing with Minthia. When Minthia went to college and I would go visit her in New Orleans and she'd be introducing me to all these people from around the world. I was like, who are these chicks? What do you like about her? Why are you befriending people? You're so vulnerable. I used to feel that way. I'd be like, no, we don't need no new people. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
I mean, it took a lot for me to really understand how to be friendly to outsiders.
Wow.
It did. And that was with my sisters.
That is so funny because you're so friendly.
I don't see it though.
You're so friendly.
I think I'm cordial, but I don't
You're
know. I'm so friendly.
You are.
I think they're friendlier people than me. I think that about you. I'd be like, Rita's just talk to anybody.
But I'm not. So tell us about a situation when someone was territorial with you.
Man. Oh my God.
Can you tell the story without getting in trouble?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay.
In my early years of marriage, I had a friend who I met through mutual acquaintances, and She was married too, and she thought like we would be couple to couple friends. And
Okay.
we did have some couple to couple relations.
Okay.
My husband liked her husband. She liked me. Like we were compatible as a four.
Okay.
But I had other friends.
Right.
I had other friends, and I wasn't looking for best friends.
Right.
And we already had a couple that we really loved and adored, and we were very, very close to. But she felt like they needed to be that couple. The first in command, instead of just
I'm gonna do a
being,
Dylan. Yeah.
My daughter always talking about So she would do things like, try to call and find out, okay, so where y'all going to dinner? Oh, so I was going to meet you there. Oh, you shouldn't go out to dinner there. We were going to take y'all to go have steak at so-and-so. Or, try to get first dibs on the weekend plans. Or better yet, try to minimize the other friends by saying things about them behind their back.
Oh my goodness.
Tried to tell, like deceitful things about them that weren't true at the time. And doing stuff like positioning herself just closely in a wrong kind of way. Next thing I know, we wearing the same perfume. Next thing I know, we got the same same hairstyle. Or we started having a lot of similarities. And I'm like, I'm not changing. So
right.
when you start wearing J'adore, when you start doing all these extra things. But she started to get a little too uncomfortably close, and she was blocking my other friends away. Next thing I find out, they're telling me stories of how she would say things to them that would make them feel uncomfortable around us.
What?
And I had no idea.
What?
People would just not show up to dinner.
What?
People would just, or stop calling. I'd be like, why didn't you call me back? They'd be like, oh, well, so-and-so told me that y'all were doing X, Y, and Z, so I figured you were too busy.
What?
She was vicious.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was crazy. And it was obviously something wrong with her.
Right.
But it took me a while to realize it. It took me about probably 4 months into her crazy before I realized, okay, she's real
like
over the top. Like
something is going on with this.
Yeah.
And why do you think women have the need to be territorial? Where do you think it comes from?
I feel like it comes from internal insecurities.
Yeah.
Just really constantly comparing yourself to other women, or always measuring yourself against someone else's worth to say, well, if this person has this, it makes me feel inferior inside. So to keep myself from being too inferior, I need to make sure I keep my friendships close and I don't allow other people in.
Right.
Because when a new friend comes in, all shiny, brand new, it's gonna make me look bad.
Right.
And it's gonna cause this friend to realize that I'm not worth what I thought I was anyway.
Wow.
I think sometimes people don't understand. I like you just because.
Right.
What if I like you because
with all your crazy
with all
and
your
all,
nuts,
with
I
all,
like 'em
with
all.
with all your, because I have, my sisters have asked me before, like, okay, I get her and her, but I don't understand why you friends with her.
And they want to answer. They look at you like, explain that.
And sometimes it's just, you just take people as they are and you just love them just because.
Absolutely. And knowing, fully aware. And that's the other thing people don't realize. I can see you're crazy and I don't care about your crazy. Like, I love you as a human. And, and I have my own insecurities. You have your own insecurities.
Right.
So those things don't hinder. But if you don't know enough about yourself, you'll believe that those things will keep people from loving you.
That's so true.
Yeah. Tell me, Brandis. Have you ever been territorial?
I am sure I have definitely been territorial. I think the same thing with my sisters for sure. Like, questioning like their friendships, especially like when we were younger. Yeah. Absolutely. And like feeling like they had to be like approved before they could go on.
Yes.
And then even I can say even with Shay, so even with my best friend, I remember there was one of somebody who she kind of brought into our circle of friends, and I didn't really love the person that much, honestly. I just didn't. And so I came to love them a lot, but it just took a lot to, I think, during that period, it took a lot for me to kind of like let down my guard, because I even say to this day, I feel like she shares me so liberally. And I just wonder if I could share her the same, honestly.
Wow.
I mean, that's just being really, really real.
So you might be territorial now.
But I don't know. So that would be a big test for me.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that I would be. I really don't. But I don't know. You know what I mean?
She's married, and that's like the closest friend a person could ever
But you
get.
know
And
what?
how did you feel?
You know what? Something about friends and marriage, I'm so excited. Like that
Okay.
part, I just want them to
girl
be
side of
happy.
things.
Like I just want them to be happy. So I can just remember doing it with my sisters. We would actually do it like with each other all the time growing up. Like the entire time growing up, we did it. And I'm trying to think. With me, I think when I had a friend who I had been friends with for quite a while, and then I met someone after her who I became close friends with, and I think I became a little bit closer with that person that came last than her, and she had been around for longer. And there was definitely some territorial, like there would be comments that would be made, like, I don't know why you guys are such close friends. Me and Brandon have been friends longer. Like, I don't understand. So yeah.
Oh. How did that work out?
So I just kind of, that's a part of who she is.
Okay.
And I just love her for who she is, but I never addressed it
I was
because she
gonna say,
never
did you
told
answer
me.
that?
She never told me.
Okay.
It just
'Cause I'm
always
like-
kept coming back to me.
Interesting.
So, it's one of those things. I heard my old pastor he said something one time, and that one statement stuck with me. It's been something that stuck with me like ever since, and I hold that statement like so close to me. And he said, hold loosely that which you love the most.
That's
And
so good.
I just thought, first I was like, why did he say that? Like when I first heard him, I was like, I don't understand that. Like, why would you hold loosely the thing that you love the most? And then I started to understand it because he was coming from a standpoint of, when you don't allow God to kind of be there or I guess kind of control this thing that you love the most, you start holding it all for yourself. And
Yes.
I think that was the way that he approached it. And so that statement alone I let that, I think, influence how I act towards everyone in my life.
Yeah. You know what I realized too? Sometimes I think people feel, like everything is running out. And being able to see things, or seeing things from a place of scarcity completely restricts
your
everything.
ability
To know that there is more or to even pursue more.
Let me tell you, we can do a whole episode on the scarcity mindset because scarcity mindset,
Damaging.
it is just so damaging. It impacts the way that you act about everything.
Yeah. And a lot of times people will say, I got, two friends and I got these no new friends right there. I got my two and I'm straight. But that's not the truth.
I know, but I said
You
it.
keep growing in friendship. I don't even know how you can't keep count.
You know what? But I said that when I first moved to New York, I was like, I don't need any new friends. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good with the friends that I had. But when I met another group of friends and they were so amazing to me, that changed. I stopped saying that.
But
I started saying, you know what? If I to this day, I'm open for new friends.
Yeah, but you know what you didn't do though? You weren't saying it because friends were running out.
No.
You were saying it because you were full.
I was.
So that's very different from the woman who's saying, because these chicks out here, because you can't trust, because you need. So let me protect these two friends I've had since third grade who are loyal to me.
Yes.
That I know I can trust with my, with everything. And the truth is, people are going to break you. At some point, people will disappoint you.
Yeah.
And if you don't allow space for your friends to grow and for you to grow, you're going to miss the opportunity to expand everything else in your world.
That's so true.
So, I feel like we're in a space and age and time where our world is so connected.
Yes.
We can have friends across the globe.
You can.
And talk to them daily.
You could.
And grow a whole new community of people around, interests and passions and so forth. And we have to be able to support that.
Right.
Especially like we're as women going to small businesses, and a lot of us are entrepreneurs. And we have to have people as resources.
Absolutely.
In order to do that, we need to know that we can grow these relationships.
Absolutely.
So what do we do?
So do we want to talk about the signs?
Yeah, let's go into the signs. I forgot all about the signs.
So
How do you know if you're territorial?
So this is how you know if you're territorial. You know you're territorial if you have trouble introducing your friends to other people.
Ew. That is so true.
I don't want to introduce y'all because y'all might end up being friends, and that's my friend.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true.
That's so true.
That is
We can
so
all say
true.
ouch.
That's so true. Or number 2, if you get upset when friends that you introduce make plans without you.
Ooh.
So I introduce you, Brandis, to Layla. Next thing I know, y'all going to improv class without me.
Ooh.
I'm mad.
Like, why you didn't invite
I can't go to improv. Y'all don't think I like improv? Number 3.
If you prejudge friends of your friends out of insecurity.
Yeah, Brandis, I don't know about you hooking up with Felicia. I mean, you know.
Or you going out with Renee?
Yeah.
Y'all going to dinner? Oh, okay.
I didn't think you liked Renee like that.
Yeah.
I don't see y'all being friends. I can't imagine. What you like about Renee?
That's so true. Oh my
Wow.
God.
I'm shocked. I thought y'all wouldn't have. I didn't think y'all were going to hit it off like that. Look,
This is where Dylan gets this from.
Oh.
That's what Dylan.
Girl, I would have never seen y'all going together. I
That's
know
so
she
true.
riding with you because you know she don't have no car.
That's so true.
Number 4, if you feel like your position could be threatened by a certain person. Hey, Brandis, what you doing? Who you on the phone with?
Hey, I'm talking to Nia.
Nia. Oh, I didn't know you and Nia start talking on the phone. When y'all start talking on the phone?
That's so true.
What y'all talking about?
That's so true.
How long y'all been talking on the phone?
That's so
30
true.
minutes. Every Monday?
That's so
Y'all have a call
true.
every week? I had no idea.
That is so true.
Oh.
That's horrible.
Uh-huh.
If you find yourself being mean or stank whenever you're around friends of friends just because.
Right. Arms folded.
Like,
texting. Uninterested, coat on, ready to go. Purse on, no conversation to offer.
Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm Brandis. Okay.
I've been to birthday parties of people that a coworker, somebody that I was pretty cool with at work, and we were friends, and I knew of her friends and she knew of my friends and so forth, and we hang out. Went to her birthday party and they were like, "Oh, she's here." Like like they thought I wasn't gonna show. When I say stank, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm the new girl. All right, let's go ahead and do this whole new girl thing." And as I was introducing myself, everybody's like, "Oh, hi. Oh, what's your name again?" You know my name. Quit playing. But whatever, because you've seen me in pictures.
Right.
So don't try that.
Right.
That's cool. Number 6, undermining new friends to create doubt. And that's the whole thing where it's like,
yes.
"Oh, Rich going to pick her up? You
Right.
You gonna let her ride with Rich?
Yes.
In the car?" Girl, if that was me, I wouldn't let her
Or
ride.
you gonna go on vacation with her?
Ooh, girl, you gonna
all
do that?
right.
You gonna travel with her?
You gonna travel?
What? Ooh, she going on your birthday party? What? I can't imagine doing that, girl. You better than me. You heard that one before. You better than me, girl.
You better. You so
you
nice
better than
though.
me,
You
girl.
nice.
See,
you
nice.
so sweet.
That's
See, you
stuff
nice.
You can do that. You can do that because I can't see myself doing that.
Oh my God, that's so true.
So how do we stop this?
How do we
It's
stop
a vicious
this?
cycle.
Ooh.
It's a vicious cycle, and we're not gonna get any liberation if we don't stop it.
So I am this year really kind of focusing on love this entire year. So my solution is going to be to exhibit love and just be open to new people. And like we said earlier, hold that which you love the most, hold that loosely. So just like be loving.
Yeah. No, that's really true. It's so true. Love will open up everything.
Yeah.
It's so true. Number 2 is you have to increase your risk for a greater reward. And basically that means a lot of times we have trust issues. a lot of times we've been broken by friendships in the past. And so we're territorial over the ones we have. And we want to protect this friend because this friend's been heartbroken before. But in order for that friend to grow and get nurtured by people that can actually love them, they have to take chances.
Yes.
And you have to take those chances, go out on a limb, try it again, keep trying it again till you meet the right people. And you
Absolutely.
keep sharpening your formula for meeting the right people, but you won't do that if you're holding back.
Absolutely. Number 3 is examine your inferiorities. Why are you threatened or feel protective over your relationship? So I think you just have to be honest with yourself in this sense. Like, why are you so insecure about sharing this friend?
And it could be straight up like, I'm lonely.
Yeah, like I don't have many friends. So then why don't you have many friends? Like it's like you have to get to the root of all of it. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't have any other friends because you haven't opened yourself up to that.
Exactly.
Because you're afraid of being heartbroken.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes we feel like, only a few people know me really well.
Right.
Well, that's not fair. Everybody should actually know you really well so they can get a chance to determine how they want to have you roll in their life.
Absolutely.
So it shouldn't be that only a few people know me.
Right.
And then these other people get to know my exterior. Well, no wonder you territorial.
Right.
People can't get to know you. So you got to let go of that. Number 4, become the connector. Decide that you're going to be the person in every friendship that is a bridge for other people. Decide that you're going to be the one that makes all your friendships gel. Always consider other people in mind. If I think of Brandis, I can think of 5 people right now I could introduce Brandis to that she would love, that would be amazing to her, that I probably already introduced to her. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But if I haven't, I'm always willing to do that.
Right. And you talked about this thing. What was the word you used in that workshop we did?
Wealth web. The
web. So Sybil used this word web, and I think this is a great word to use for friendships. So you almost create like a friendship web. So maybe you have 5 friends. They bring 5 friends to the table. Mm-hmm. You meet other new friends. You introduce them, and you start this friendship web. And lots of opportunities can come from that. Yeah. Lots of fun times can come from that. Yeah. I mean, a lot of things can come from that if you continue to just kind of introduce everyone to everyone, really.
Yeah. You know what? One more thing that I just thought about, Brandis, too, because I can hear a lot of people saying, in my town or in my city, it's hard because I live in Memphis and I had these friends since high school or whatever be the case, and it's not that many things to do and whatever. And that's why we got to go back to the idea that if you get yourself connected with people of like interest, it will grow your own passion, your interest, and then you won't have to be so territorial because you have stuff to do. Right. Sometimes people just don't have enough to do.
That's so true. We didn't even put that down there. So if you don't have nothing to do and you got 3 friends, of course you're going to be like territorial on those 3 friends. They provide all your entertainment. So true. Please don't make me provide all your entertainment.
I know. That's so much responsibility.
That's too much.
Oh my goodness.
That goes back to being like the flower.
Yeah.
In that episode when we talked about friendships.
Oh my gosh. All right. Our number 5
is don't own relationships. Share them.
Yeah. Don't be taking friends and stashing them in your pockets.
Exactly.
Putting them on your person.
These are mine. These are mine. This is mine. And you get your own.
Yes.
But this is mine.
Now I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter is 4, but she got some slick sides to her, right? And Dylan used to be that way. Dylan used to tell Sam, no. Like, Sam would be out. Sam's like the mayor. He want to speak to people. Dylan was like, no, don't talk to her. No, Sam, no. This is a little baby, 2-3 years old, telling Sam to stop talking to people. She wanted everybody to herself. And that's how she is now. Dylan wants you to herself.
That is hilarious.
She doesn't want you to be friends with other people. So I know now I got to break this territorial side out of her.
You got to break it.
But that's a 4-year-old we're talking about, not no grown
Which makes sense for a 4-year-old. It does not make sense for a 24 or 34 or 44 or 54 or 64-year-old woman.
Seriously, it's time for us to break that and be more connective and collaborative with each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've seen so many amazing things come from that.
We had some friends, I have some friends that I didn't know were territorial until the Great Girlfriend started. And they were like, oh, so what made you do that with Brandis? And they love you, but they're like, oh, I thought, ow. thought, oh, we would have done it together.
Right.
Or, oh, and some of your friends are probably like, okay, I know y'all cool, but how y'all
right.
talking about great girlfriends?
That's so
like,
true.
a lot of people were a little confused, but it wasn't about being the best friends.
Right.
It's about being great to each other.
Right.
That's all it's about. Simple, not territorial.
That's so
Amen.
funny. Amen.
Amen. Y'all can send an offering. Don't be stingy. Send us some offering.
They might not send us an offer for this one.
Don't be mad at us. Y'all need to know this.
Don't be mad at us, y'all. Please don't. But it's
Be
true.
mad. All right, we're done.
So we're gonna thank all of our husbands. we want to thank our husbands. Thank you, babe, Rich, Daniel.
Kwakua Mooney, my boo.
I know, and our families, Sky, Grace, Daniel,
Sam and Dylan.
and our parents and our sisters and our cousins.
They're so
It was so
awesome.
cool that our sisters met, right?
I know.
Oh,
that
we
was
should have got a
fun.
picture.
We should have.
And all our great girlfriends for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter.
You can listen on our website, iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, what's the last one? Podbean,
Yes.
and more. Remember to check us out on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends.
Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
Twitter,
_Great GFS.
and tell all of your friends to visit our website at
TheGreatGirlfriends.com.
Post your questions.
Share with your friends. Sign up for our newsletter.
Yes, sign up our newsletter. We're going to start running some very cool contests, and we don't want you to miss out on any of those prizes.
Yes. All right. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend.
I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandis.
We're signing off.
Bye, guys.
Peace.